hustle culture your thing, or do you actually just take pride in working the limited number of hours in a week that you're required to? What are your thoughts about this comment by Infosys co-founder Narayan Murthy, who's spoken about the fact that 70 hours a week is what the youth must be doing every single week if they want the country to progress? Do you agree? Do you value quantity over quality, or the other way around? What are your thoughts on the hybrid work culture, or work from home, or remote work? What's your take on toxic work environments? This week, Health 360 has had an opportunity to delve deep into this particular conversation. I'm Sneha Mordani. CEO says 70 hours a week. Elon Musk said 80 to 100 hours a week. What is your thing? Do you prefer quality over quantity, or do you think quantity is actually important? What does working for 70 hours a week do to our health, our physical health, our mental health? Does science actually support this? I decode in this report. The debate is on and the jury out still on whether 70 hours of work per week is the ultimate recipe for success. Infosys founder Narayan Murthy stirred a hornet's nest with this remark.
Our youngsters must say, this is my country. I want to work 70 hours a week. You know, this is exactly what Germans and Japanese did after the Second World War. And they made sure that every German worked extra hours for a certain number of years.
The controversy over it refuses to die down. While there are many who support Mr. Murthy, asking what is wrong, there are those who say this is lethal for your physical and mental health.
Narayan Murthy said youngsters should have the enthusiasm to stand up and say, I'm working to improve my country, I'm willing to work 70 hours, etc. Please read that, please listen to him very carefully. He did not say there should be a rule that everybody should work 70 hours. He did not say that.
Narayan Murthy claimed that the work productivity of Indians are among the lowest in the world, and unless Indians improve productivity, reduce corruption in government departments, and reduce delays in bureaucratic decision-making, India may not be able to compete and use the potential of the youngsters to the fullest. Experts say that asking for 70 hours of work from the youth every single week is way too much, and science does not support it.
No, of course not. You know, it's not practically possible. Like if suppose that, I'll give you an example. Suppose that a pilot, okay, flies the plane. Even if he is or she is 60-year-old or 26-year-old, you can't say that 26-year-old should fly 70 hours a week. It applies equally on each and everyone, right? So no, it's not healthy. It's very unhealthy.
Here is what science says. The World Health Organization, for example, says that working 55 hours or more per week is a serious health hazard. A study by McKinsey in 2022 found that 4 out of every 10 Indians working in corporate India experience high levels of burnout, distress, anxiety and depression. The report cites toxic workplace as the biggest reason behind these alarming statistics. Hustle culture is an environment where there's an unhealthy obsession with ambition, achievements and success with little regard for rest, self-care or any sense of work-life balance. This is being glamorized by celebrity CEOs, say experts.
All the people who will fuel into it and who will put their 70 hours into this building the nation, who will they build it for? They will have no families to go back to. So what's the point? There's no point in doing it. It's very important for us to care for our well-being. We don't work manually. It's not physical labor anymore, right? It's like mental labor is there and we work mentally. It's very challenging. It's very exhausting.
Another IT czar has come forward to offer some well-meaning advice on Twitter. Chairman of Wipro, Rishad Premji, has tweeted saying that mental health must be prioritized. But soon after Elon Musk took over Twitter last October, he warned employees that they must commit to an extremely hardcore working culture or quit. When asked by a Twitter user about the number of hours one needs to work each week to change the world, he said 80 to 100 hours. Well, take a look at this. A 2021 joint study by the World Health Organization and the International Labour Organization has found that in the year 2016, 488 million people, or roughly 9% of the global population, were exposed to long working hours. The research also said that in 2016 alone, nearly 750,000 people died due to heart disease and strokes as a direct result of overwork. This represents a 29% increase since the year 2000. The Japanese have also coined a term for it, karoshi, which means death by overwork. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today. What are the thoughts of those people who are a part of the corporate culture, who are working in corporate India? What do they really think about work-life balance? Are they happy at workplace? What do they prefer? What's the kind of work mode they prefer? What is their expectation from their employer? Are they aware about mental health problems? Are they facing some challenges themselves? What really is their thought process? This report delves deep into the ideas and concepts and the thoughts of those who are associated with the corporate culture. Take a look.
Feeling burnt out? Do you feel as if your work hours are seeping into your personal hours? Well, you're not alone. Work-related stress is often something that people around the world experience. But is mental wellness at workplaces given the necessary space it deserves?
It is really possible to balance it out by giving some flexibility to the employee that, okay, if today maybe one day you need to leave early, you can leave early as long as you just make sure tomorrow this project that you have to submit, you submit it on time. Technology has made it possible for us to work, contribute meaningfully even without being physically present in office. So I think if organizations take care of their people, give them some flexibility, 60-70% of the challenges addressed there itself.
A study conducted by GI Group India says that 57% of the corporate workers in major Indian cities feel that while workplaces may not cause mental health issues, they can certainly aggravate them. The study surveyed 1,088 employees and 368 employers from large-scale businesses based out of Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Mumbai, Delhi NCR and Pune. The study suggests that today's corporate work culture is such that it is bound to aggravate your mental pressures. One of the prime reasons behind this is an erratic work schedule. About 77% of employers and 39% of employees attribute their mental health issues to erratic work hours, which hamper the regular sleep cycle. Another reason is personality conflicts, which experts say, coupled with office politics, can strain work relations and can adversely affect an employee's mental health. Other major contributing factors to mental health issues include the need for social validation and interpersonal conflicts. 66% of employers and 51% of employees feel that competitiveness and peer pressure within their organization compounds their mental stress. But there is a disconnect between employers and employees when it comes to mental health issues at the workplace. While 77% of employers downplay the role of leadership as a causative factor for mental health issues and blame erratic work hours, 79% of employees feel their leadership, specifically indifference from superiors, that tops the reason behind mental health issues. The study says reduced productivity, burnout, and loss of motivation or purpose are the direct fallout of mental health issues. And this is reflected within 70% of all employees, who feel there is a significant impact of mental issues on organizational performance. But what are organizations doing to create a support system for those affected by mental health issues? While 14% of organizations have policies to assist with mental health issues, 54% have no formal setup to deal with mental wellness concerns. When it comes to awareness on mental health, Delhi NCR fares at the bottom end with a 50% score.
We must acknowledge that traditionally in India, the balance of power between an employer and an employee has always been skewed in the favor of the employer. Because India is a country that has less job opportunities, a lot of unemployment. So obviously that culture that, if somebody is giving me employment, I have to really, be respectful and all of that. That still remains. But I think we must acknowledge that with more and more opportunities getting created, it is not that the employee doesn't have options. So it's a relationship of equals now. And I think that is a better way to look at it rather than the balance of power being in the favor of one party, whether it is employee or employer.
Experts say that mental health has pervaded public discourse, but it still remains a challenge, especially in the workplace. The only way forward is to regularly sensitize those in the workforce to be receptive to mental health concern and also create a safe space for those who need assistance. With video journalist Manish Jha, this is Chetna Vasudevan for India Today.
In our next report, India Today met up with some workers of the corporate culture who've in fact been there and done it all, been a part of the hustle culture, and these people were unable to in fact strike a good balance between their work and their personal life. They learned the hard way. This is what they've had to say about the suggestion of a 70-hour per week culture that is being propagated by Narayan Murthy. Listen in. In today's fast-paced corporate landscape, a growing concern is casting a long shadow over the well-being of employees, that of stress driven by corporate burnout. The relentless demands of the modern workplace are taking a toll on individuals, leading to increased stress levels and health concerns. India Today spoke to Mr. Chandra, a 45-year-old F&B professional, to learn about his journey battling corporate burnout and achieving work-life balance.
I used to work in HR, so means there was a lot of turnover, and to block that turnover, we needed employees to be hired soon, and that stress would go on from workplace to home. Even when I was sleeping, I used to be thinking, oh, I've not hired this person, or I have to interview that person. So it was that stress which takes you on. This was sometime in 2002 when I was in Bahrain, and I used to be working from 8 in the morning till 8 in the night, and which was not so good. I fell ill, and it used to be like a burden to go to work.
Conversations with individuals even younger show that corporate burnout is real.
Do not work for promotions, do not run for promotions, just work for yourself and your mental well-being. Because at the end, everything what matters is your mental peace and your health.
I will share you this story where this doctor came from US and he was working continuously almost for 16 months with very few breaks, and he break down. He developed himself a psychosis. So working hard is good, but working hard at the cost of health, I'm not sure it's a best alternative. I think working in a balanced, productive way is the better alternative.
Mental health experts say both individuals and organizations need to take steps to prevent burnout.
Setting those boundaries and having positive communication. And a third important aspect is that when you have a certain problem, say you have a problem in a relationship, in a personal relationship, and you're not able to talk to each other, wouldn't you go to somebody else and talk about it? So it might be at times important to actually seek out help from outside your team. And if not at workplace, then go to a professional and try and understand what you can do, because people have individual problems, individual perspectives, individual coping strategies.
Setting boundaries, managing workloads, taking regular breaks and seeking professional assistance are essential measures. Self-care practices such as exercise and mindfulness can also play a significant role in mitigating the effects of stress driven by corporate burnout. So what does the advice of Narayan Murthy mean to them?
I want to work 70 hours a week.
The employee need to work for a corporate for very long time, maybe 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Now 70 hours working for maybe 1 month, 2 months is okay. But ongoing basis, it will lead to a breakdown of the system, and that will not be possible for a human being to do that.
All human beings want to learn, explore, experience, evolve, and that can happen only when your day-to-day routine work is taken care of. And that's your leisure time, that's your me time, that's your personal time. And definitely you need that. Because we are not getting that is one of the reasons why we see more and more people developing a sense of what we call existential crisis. Why am I here? What am I doing? Is that all? All I'm supposed to do is earn, feed myself, feed my family, and that's it. So I think that's a very important aspect for personal evolution, and all of us need to be cognizant of that.
The conversation around stress driven by corporate burnout is evolving. Sacrificing one's well-being for the sake of a job is no longer seen as a sign of dedication. Instead, individuals and organizations alike are recognizing the importance of maintaining a balanced work-life equilibrium and actively addressing this growing concern.
Health and well-being of employees are the foundation of a prosperous and sustainable corporate environment. Thankfully, many organizations have started recognizing that today. With video journalist Manish Jha, this is Kshitija Gosavi for India Today.
Alright, now here's why science believes that overworking can actually kill you. Like we said, the Japanese also have a term for it. It increases your cortisol levels, your stress hormones. It leads to sleep disorders, insomnia, also hypertension. Essentially, your blood pressure could be shooting up. Anxiety, panic, depression, an increased amount of stress essentially could be extremely detrimental to you. These are signs that you are overworked. You identify these signs and symptoms. First of all, there is a huge dip in your productivity. As opposed to whatever else anybody might say, your productivity will dip. Also, you'll have problems falling asleep. There will be personal problems at home. Sometimes it'll also turn to alcohol. Aches and pains, unexplained body aches and pains are the number one sign of stress and undue stress essentially, which obviously shows that you are working too much. So what should you do if you feel you're overworked and you're not liking the situation that you found yourself in? First of all, talk to your supervisor, talk to your employer. That sometimes helps. Set a boundary, set professional boundaries, always do that. Set up a routine for yourself. Dedicate time out of work for things that you like to do. Be mindful about these things. Reassess your situation. Think about the ideal, your dream work-life scenario. Mindfulness. Practice meditation, practice mindful eating, and prioritize yourself. Do it with utmost urgency. Can one be assured of mental peace if one chooses to work from home or chooses the hybrid model? Is remote work really effective? What about those people who actually enjoy coming to work? There are many who say that we don't want to go to work because of the commute simply, and work from home is what really works for us. What is corporate India really thinking? And which work model essentially is the best model for you? We decode in this report. Are you one of those who prefers work from home or someone who prefers hybrid work? This is what a study by Flex shows. A study by Flex Jobs survey shows that 96% of people choose hybrid work culture, obviously prioritizing their mental and physical health. The study shows that working remotely can affect one physically and mentally. 48% of people are said to have reduced stress levels, better lifestyle due to remote working. Work from home was introduced to the world during the pandemic. While a lot of us resented it at that point in time, many of us have warmed up to it now. A recent study shows that employees are choosing remote working over hybrid. 65% prefer full-time remote working, the rest 33% say they prefer hybrid work. So why are people choosing work from home?
When I talk to these people, I have a lot of friends also who are in corporates. Why they prefer to work from home nowadays is primarily because of this reason, that it saves time and it saves energy to do a lot of other things. Particularly from the perspective of women, since they were able to spend 2 years at home and were able to look after their children while being able to work. So it also serves that purpose.
The study by Flex Jobs shows that working from home has a huge impact on mental health. In May, Flex Jobs surveyed 5,600 corporate employees from various cities and understood why this is a sudden shift in the mindset.
Nobody actually thought that working from home was even a possibility. It was not an option given to employees by companies. Even in companies which are predominantly, not production or manufacturing oriented, like IT for example, they had not experimented with this model at all. The pandemic forced us to do something because at that point of time it was the only option available. So all companies had to try it, whether they believed it would work or not work. And I would say it worked much better than what it was anticipated.
So what are the advantages of work from home? Home working enables more agility and flexibility in working arrangements, with employees no longer tied to an office. They may be better placed and more willing to work flexible hours. Working from home allows for a quieter environment that can facilitate more focused work. Working from home eliminates the need for a commute to work that can be stressful to employees. Time savings such as this also enable staff to get extra health benefits such as additional sleep, spending more time with their families, exercising or preparing healthier meals. People avoid having junk food and also are more focused to lead a healthy lifestyle. Work from home can save a whole lot of money. It reduces your travel budget. The study shows that people are able to maintain a better balance between their work and personal life. They're able to give time to their family and friends. They're able to go out, maintain gym routines, which leads to better mental health. While many suggest the good side of work from home, there also are huge disadvantages of this culture which can affect your mental health too. While some enjoy going to office and meeting people, during work from home, sitting at home is leading to more cases of depression and loneliness. There could be difficulty managing home workers and monitoring their performance. Different personalities may also respond to monitoring with varying degrees of positivity. Many say that remote working was leading to an increase in their screen time and hence led to headaches, migraines, eye problems, etc.
If you're not able to condition yourself to switch off from work or switch on for work, then it will cause a lot of stress. Because, multitasking, especially from the perspective of, managing household things also, there is a plumber in the house and you're working and, focusing on a meeting, it is bound to have a sort of a impact, not just on your productivity, but also the fact that you have to spend energy at various places, and it will be more energy than it will be needed to be spent, say, focusing only on that meeting.
Whether you work from office or from home, keeping a check on your mental health is very important, especially when there is a pressure to put in more hours, with many asking what is wrong in working for 70 hours in a week. With video journalist Krishan Kumar, Aishwarya Radhakrishnan for India Today.
Well, that brings us to the end of this edition of Health 360. There's a lot of conversation around corporate mental health. You can find our detailed reports on all of India Today's social media platforms, that is YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. You can also find these reports on India Today's website, that's indiatoday.in, and download India Today's app as well. Until next time, it's goodbye from the entire team of Health 360. Thank you for watching.